Hey guys, Rick Shaw here. It's the 17th of September 2021. We just got over a little bit of rain. The clouds moved off that way. Been working this morning. Got the awning up. Got the cabinet built for all the tools. Deep freezer set up, ready to go. So we were pretty busy all morning getting all this. I got all my tools, all my hardware stuff, everything in this cabinet. So don't have to hunt for anything anymore. It's lockable. It's really cool. So we're pretty happy about that. But getting on with talking about folks coming here when you first move here. One of the big things, if you come and you're not going to just build right away, when you're looking for rent, I truly recommend you let your sweetheart look around, have her talk to people she knows. They don't really advertise too many places here for rent, unless you go past a place and see a sign. That's not like they put it in the paper. Very rarely will you see it on, unless you're like in a big city like Manila, will you see it online or on Facebook or anything like that. You have to just sort of tool around and look. I found my place, though. The last place we rented was that one in Carmona. I actually found that one on not Facebook, but Carousel. I found it on. I looked into Carousel site for rent, Carmona, boom, and that one popped up because we needed to move quickly. We were living in a little place. We were going to stay until we came here, and we got them down a little bit on the monthly. That one was $10,000 a month. Big place, plenty of water, good electricity, plenty roomy for us. Did a lot of cooking in the kitchen. That was a pretty good place. Would have been nice to be able, instead of this one, just buy that one. But when you're out looking for places, if you get away from the towns a little bit, places are really cheap. Just so inexpensive and cheap. My wife, the first place she was in was $1,500 a month, and then we knew of another place that was going for, I think it was $2,500 a month before I got into the place in Carmona, and now you'd think the prices would be up, but they're not. They're actually down now because people who aren't able to work and travel for their work, they're not renting places. They're going back with mom, or they're staying on the site here like these guys do. So there's places up for rent, and you could pick them up, but you gotta sort of drive around, talk to people. A good one to do would, if you get to know the barangay, if you know the area you want to be in, talk to those people. Have your sweetie do it. They'll gouge the heck out of you. There was a place on Carousel, and the girl wanted to rent it, but she had been saying her guy's going to be coming here. He didn't get in yet. He's still not in. But on Carousel, the place was $7,500, and when she went to rent it, because they knew she was, going to be in with a foreigner, they kicked it up to 10, even though it was marked. And she wound up renting it for that, and so you got to be careful of that. But buying land, just remember you don't own it. Have to be in your sweetie's name. You can still put both your names on it. That's not a problem. It's like here, our names are on it. But when it comes down to the end, it belongs to her. Now, I think from talking to some other guys and seeing things online, if you put all your money into a place, I don't believe they could throw you out if you and your sweetie have troubles. You can get a lawyer and talk to somebody, and courts here take forever, and I think they have to show proof that they put a lot of money into it. That's why I don't recommend you putting all your money onto a lot that belongs to your sweetie, because you never know. I know a fella now, he had trouble with his sweetie, and they're not together anymore, American guy. And so if he'd have built on to her property, then that's her property. Get out. I believe that's the way that would go. But if you buy one together, I think they have to show that they own it. Good one to watch on that one's Grandpa Vlogger. He's got some information on that. Filipina P is another one. Look at her stuff. They really get in really deep into it. Now me, I'm not worried. My wife and I are pretty solid. We got beautiful babies. I don't think there's going to be any trouble. You never know how things are going to go, but we've been together for 9 years now. Dang flies. But it's going pretty good. We worked this together this morning, getting this all up, and now we've got it. We had to move the bikes over there a little bit, but still be easy to get in and out of here. I'm going to do some service on the motorbike here pretty soon, and the car, and it is really nice to have this cabinet here. And the way I got it set up, I don't have to take the toolboxes out. I can just pull each individual tray out as I need it. I've got all my motorcycle stuff in the cabinet, the air filter, the oil filter, the oil, and all that stuff set there. I'll do the same for the car. I like to have a couple oil changes in the cabinet. That's the way I'm going to do it. But that was just a few thoughts on when you come here, and don't be afraid to move around, guys, and check out the different places, because you might find something you like a lot better. I was never one into thinking having a real big place. I do know of a fellow who came in here and built I believe it was 3,000 square foot on 650 square meters, big house. Nice guy. I've gone back and forth with him on the Messenger for over a year, and he even says he wished he wouldn't have spent so much money on the house, because they're not there. They're traveling. It's him. He's 70. His sweetheart's 50, and they're traveling. He's got a real nice 4Runner, and they travel. They go to the islands. They're gone. They're not even there. Now it's a big, beautiful place. I've never been there, but I got to see pictures of it. And yeah, it's nice. It's Western style. He's got all the amenities. It's absolutely fabulous. And he goes, if I'd been smarter, I got in touch with him through my channel. He said, if I'd have been smarter, I'd have followed your plan, a small place, And down the road too, when you want to go sell them, a lot easier to sell a small place for a lower amount of money than it is a big place like that. How many people are going to have the money for that, or even be able to get a loan for that? So you got to think of that kind of stuff. And if somebody's going to spend that much money on a house, they'll just build it themselves. They'll build it the way they want it. There's two fellows up here right in this development. The fellow wants $8 million for the one house. I don't know how much for the one next door, but I'm sure it's pretty close. Dang flies today. I can need a bath. But he said it's been for sale for 3.5 years already. That's quite a while. Yeah, I'm stinky. I've been sweating my butt off, and then we had the rain come and go. But think of it that way. I know our first place we were in was right around 500 square feet, just a one-floor thing. I had tore out a wall, and where there was the little bit of yard, I concreted that all in so that we could park the vehicles in there. On the other side of the house, I had another place where you could pull a motorcycle in if you wanted. So it was, that was pretty nice, and it was plenty big for us. We did everything we needed to. It had a dirty kitchen outside, it had a kitchen inside, and then it had, of course, it was 2-bedroom, and the kids were just babies then. So I took the wall out and made it one big room, and we used dressers, because there was 2 doors coming in now. We used dressers to make kind of a partition, made one big bedroom, and then behind the dressers I had the stuff, tools and all the crap, and kept that door on a latch to keep the kids out. This cabinet here we just got, I got keys. The deep freezer's got a key right there. And I'm not worried about anybody here really messing with stuff. I'm worried about my kids getting into stuff. They pick things up. Just for an example, my motorcycle gloves. I have some fingerless gloves. And I set them down on the cabinet instead of putting them in my motorcycle helmet. Now there's only one. And nobody seems to know where the other one went. So, that's what happens when you got kids. It's just the way it's going to go. They take stuff and they move it around. And me, when I put something somewhere, if it gets moved, I can't find it. It's just the way it goes. But got all the cabinets in the house cleaned out. We're in a tiny home, guys. I still recommend that. I could have went for a much bigger place, but I'd have had a loan. We were able to do this one all in. Same with the vehicle, same with the motorbike. I don't recommend coming here and going into debt and having payments on everything. You're retired now. Be retired, think smart, and so that you have all your cash coming in to do stuff, to get around, do stuff. We want to get out and start going to resorts again. Kids start school tomorrow, by the way. It's blended learning, they call it. It's going to be mostly here, so we got their little table set up out here. This came at the perfect time. It rained. We didn't get wet. The motorbike didn't get wet. So that was kind of cool. I got it pushed back so nothing leaks in behind, but I got a thing on top of it's a metal cabinet. So, but I got everything easy access now. Very easy to grab to. I'm still I got some of that, it's a window tint that I had for the cars that when the windows go up and down, it wouldn't hold. So I have a couple rolls. I'm going to put that on the inside of this here so that you can't really see. But that's good solid glass. Got their little kids' spot right here. And then this is also this is a refrigerator and a freezer. So probably going to make it a beer fridge maybe. We still have to go upstairs and fix that awning yet. And next month I found some really nice chairs and like a thing where I can put a cooler in the middle. So there's a nice place to sit up there. I got a plug there so we can have our little coffee machine. We could put it down inside that thing that'll keep it from getting wet. It's a plastic like center table with a lid on top, so that can go in there. And then we want to do coffee. We'll be ready up there. I just got to get one more coffee grinder. I have 2 bins for coffee here, so I'll put one of them upstairs because it'll be nice to wake up in the morning and then just go sit out there on the porch for a while. That's kind of I like that. I like to do that. We had a nice chair and table, and it broke. Tim was here, and it just went. It just was a bad weld. I'm glad he didn't get hurt. That could have been bad. It could have cut him open. Just wasn't cool at all. So these chairs that we saw, I was actually standing on them in the store. They're display. Now it's from Mandawi foam, so they don't you don't really take them much. We were able to take the water cooler stand, but the big stuff they got delivered. But they came out and delivered this morning. And we just finished. I was going through the house, going through all the cupboards, all my little spots I had, hardware, nuts, screws, bolts. I got them all in little containers in here. So when I want to do something, boom, it's all right here. Now I got to move the camera, though. I have a camera. It's up above the awning now. So it's not going to do us any good up there. I'm thinking I'm going to mount one in the window. Maybe over here. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. And I also have a automatic light, motion sensor light that'll come on. So that'll do. But the cameras, I do have the system I can put in. I just haven't done it yet. I just only got the one camera up. That's it. And now that this awning's here, it's just going to see the top of the awning and then out a little bit. So that's got to be, we got to get that fixed up. But I still do say, I know I'm going back and forth between my house and renting and stuff, but we lived where my wife lived the first place. I didn't particularly like that because the mosquitoes were like absolutely ridiculous. We bought that first little house cash, and it was $8,000, guys. That's all it cost. And because the exchange was, wait a minute, it was more like 9 something. And then we did stuff to it. When we had the wall taken out, I hired a guy to come in and do the fence. It wasn't much. He was able to use some of the metal we had, plus he went down the scrapyard and picked up metal, made a beautiful gate. And then I had the concrete guys. The concrete, getting that done was cheap. It was a neighbor guy. He was one of the guys that actually helped build that house many years ago. And I contracted him for the cement. And I'm not kidding you, they mixed it right out in the street. There's no trucks come in there or anything like that. He mixed it, did a great job. I helped with the rebar in there. We put plenty of rebar in. We had the hole for the septic tank. We made a little opening for that so you could still get in and service the septic tank. And then also we had the spot marked where right up above the septic tank where the 2 holes were. So those were marked. So if you got to just chip out a little concrete, they actually stuck up a little bit. So the concrete's thin there, and you can get in there if you need to get a hose and suck the poo-poo out. But we throw in that septic system, green pig septic system stuff. I actually just threw one in this toilet. It's the second time. I did one when we first come here, and then I threw it again. So we don't have any trouble with the septic system. I'm basically sitting on it. The dang things are deep. This one here was I'd say about 8 feet deep, and it's most of this parking spot. So I don't think we're going to have too much trouble with that. And if I keep the maintenance, 4 times a year, I dump one of those green pigs down the toilet. There won't be any problems at all. They don't have leach fields here. They just run what runs off the top down into the storm drain. And that seems to be working out pretty good. We watch what we put down the drain also. I don't like to put, like all these Dranos and things that'll kill your bacteria. You got to be careful of that here, since there's no leach beds and stuff. You don't want to clog up your septic. When we were in the first house we bought. Hi, sweetheart. There's my beautiful dolly. Yeah, it's just drizzling a little bit yet. But look at that. I'm high and dry, kiddo.
Yeah.
No rain here, huh?
Yeah.
Do you like this?
Yeah.
You gonna do your studies here tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna do our studies. So, but that's pretty much what we got going. This thing's just for now until it's awning until we get a regular awning built. That's down the road, guys. That's going to be well down the road. There's a lot of things we got to do yet. My buddy Wes just told me about a computer he got, and it looks like exactly what I need. It's a laptop. I'd like to be able to take it with me. And it's even got a DVD reader. I could load videos to a DVD for storage. I can also put them, I can load them into my terabyte memory. I have that now, which I try to save all my videos. We will be moving on to another platform. I'll start loading on both of them once I get a laptop. It looks to me like Odyssey's going to be the way to go. Talked to a lot of people about BitChute. They're not really doing anything. They were supposed to be a competitor to Facebook, and they're just not putting any money into it. So, that's not gonna work out. So, but it seemed like the more people I talked to, it seems like Odyssey might be the way to go. I was able to start an account. I had to play around. They said not available in this country, and I had to get that location thing. I already had that on the phone, and then I went ahead and sent it over like I was living in America, and boom, it all went. And then I still have a U.S. phone number, and so there was no problem. There was no problem doing that at all. Once I did all that stuff, and even if I moved the location to somewhere else again, boom, no problem. It's a done deal already. And that location thing was it was just an app. It was an app I put on the phone. I don't have to pay for anything, so that worked out pretty good. But guys, when you come here, I honestly don't like telling anyone what to do, but don't build too big of a house. There's one fellow I was talking to. I haven't talked to him for quite a few months, but he was selling his house, and he was looking to get about $500,000, and he was talking about building this big monstrous house. And if that's the way you want to go, I like I say, I don't want to tell anyone, what you want to do. But if you're retired, how much space you need? You don't want to wind up getting a place and then wind up having a ton of family in. I did do a thing on the last video about the maid service, and just know that. Now I do know somebody, and this was a really cool way of doing it. I thought it was really cool. They bought a really good-sized compound. It looked like it was 400 square meters square, and they built the first little house, one story. When you first came in the gate, it was straight ahead, and that was for the mom and dad. And over to the right of that, there was two-story with a balcony wrapped all the way around upstairs. It was just a big bedroom and master bath upstairs, and then a really nice kitchen in the back with a little bathroom, and then a big living room. It was kind of like stepped. The kitchen, you stepped up, and same thing upstairs. It was stepped up. And then it had like a garden area off to the right of that, because the dude was a gardener. And then when you first went in the gate, off to the right was a little small place. I would say maybe it was 300 square feet, but two-story. And the second story, you had to go upstairs to get to it, to access it. And then there was the one downstairs, and there was a side wall where they had all the washing stuff, and that's where his maid and caretaker dude lived whenever they would go somewhere. And he kept his place locked up, had his wife's family, and that was a compound, and he had really high walls up. The walls around all four sides were, I would say, 12 feet, very high, and he had them reinforced. And I just thought it was the coolest place. And when you first pulled in, there was plenty of parking. He just had one small car. It was one of them Hyundai Picanto, I think is what he's got. And then, of course, he had a motorcycle and a tricycle. And that was pretty cool, because he said, "Hey, I don't want us to be cooking or anything. I don't want us to be cleaning. I'll let these guys do." He put in a safe. He actually had like a gun safe where he put all his stuff in, all his bills and all his business. That was all locked up in there. The house, he put in real heavy-duty doors and stuff, grates on the windows. And he says, and he knew. He said, "I didn't want anybody doing my business, knowing what, it's none of their business what I do or how much I get." Now this fellow's doing pretty well, and he built the whole place. He said, he was telling me the entire cost to get that built was around $600,000. But he had all his wife's family. They're all construction guys. Build it. The land. He said that he didn't. That was on top of that. He had bought that over when he was still in the States. He was buying that over years. They took a loan to buy it, and he said he paid it off, and it had sat until he retired. So, but that was a kind of a good idea if you want to do something like that. But like I say, we did know a family that had a extra room. That's where the maid stayed, and the girl who washed the clothes and cleaned the house and cooked and did whatever, and just business like mad. And I had talked to the guy, and that girl went down the road, and then he wound up getting another lady to wash and do stuff, but didn't live there. She came every morning and left every afternoon. And he said he was glad somebody said something, because and that was a Filipino guy. So, but that's pretty much it. The boys are really working over there. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up so good, because I got it on wide angle, but there's so many new houses going up. They're digging ditches now. I think the rainy season, it's probably by the end of this month, will probably be out this year. I don't think it's going to go all the way through December like it has in the past. And these guys, it's tough when they're putting these footers in, because there's so much water. They got to get in there and bail all the water out. I'm surprised they didn't just dump the concrete in. I don't know how strong that is, but I remember putting up fence posts where dug the hole. Dude came through with the tractor, and he had auger, and he went down and augered the hole out, made it about 5 feet deep, and we were using locust posts. We put those in upside down, by the way, and we set a piece of concrete down on the bottom. He had these little concrete things that were pre-made. You dropped them in the bottom, you set the post in there, and then we just dumped bags. He would drop the bags off. We were quickcrete. We just dumped the quickcrete all in the hole, tamped it down real good, and never watered it or anything. Just left it go and moved on to the next one. And that concrete drew all the moisture from the ground and the rain and all that kind of stuff. He did go around and dump buckets. He had a water tank on the back of his tractor, and I think we did dump 5-gallon buckets in there after. And then when that was all done, we just threw some little bit of gravel up over the top, threw some dirt over it, and that fence was there for a long time. Still there. So, but those posts were in there real solid, and we did his whole place, 100 and some acres, completely around the whole perimeter, because he kept cows and stuff. And then of course there was a couple corral areas. I think he had one came right down the middle. Then he had one area where they did a lot of stuff, shooting range and all that kind of stuff. That was all fenced around, so the cows couldn't get in there. And that worked out. But I don't ever see him doing that. The construction here, when you come here, you're going to be amazed. It's totally different than what I've seen. I have seen post and beam before, but that's about it for me today. Guess I'm rambling a little bit, but beautiful day. You can really feel the heat from the sun, even though the clouds are up there. Those are the clouds that passed over. And I'm fried. I'm going to go get myself a bath so the flies will leave me alone. So, guys, this is Rick Shaw, and I'm going to let you go today. Take care, and God bless.